Boom. Man, I'm not hearing nothing.
What?
I see you jamming, and it's like radio silence.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'm like, I don't hear anything, man, but it's all good. Reminisce Show every Tuesday, man. Carrying the traditions of Sankofa, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what we may have forgotten. But it's all good, man. If there's no intro, man. Big up to everyone who's joining us today, bringing you the foundations of hip hop. But it's okay though, you know. Like in the meantime, I can just play this intro. Something that we haven't done. Usually we do our check-ins, but I want to see if
I mean, we could just do it like this. I mean, we could just share the screen because
okay.
Yo, that's just crazy, man. What the hell? Like,
it's all right, man. Peace to Righteous in the house, man. You already know. What you got, man? You sharing?
Yeah. I'm just gonna share it, man. Like, what the hell? It's tradition. It's tradition.
Okay, let's go. Let's get into it, man. Let's go. I don't know, bro. I don't hear anything on my end. I don't know if Righteous.
You don't hear it?
Know. I don't hear it. I just see you jamming to silence, man. That's what it looks like on my end. So I'm not sure.
You see it?
I see it, but I don't hear it. So I don't know, Righteous men. Please let me know if you're able to hear that.
That's weird. Yo, this technology is acting weird today. I hear it fine. What the hell? All right, well, I might have to just send you the links then, and you should. That's weird, because what the hell?
Oh,
man. Anyways.
All right. It's all good, though, man. It's all good. Reminisce Show every Tuesday, man. Carrying the traditions of Sankofa. Sometimes we got to go back and collect what we may have forgotten. And sometimes we got to move forward, even when there's technological interruptions, man. But it's all good. Righteous is saying, I feel like you took off your headphones. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't hear anything, man.
My bad, man. I don't know why this shit ain't working, man.
But it's okay though. We're gonna get some sounds, man. We're gonna set it off, riding off of last week's interview, which it'd be nice to do a little quick recap. We're gonna play this record, man, from Freaks of Reality, man, a crew that a lot of folks don't really know about, but are really instrumental to like the foundations of the hip hop scene, man. So we're gonna have them as our theme music today, man. So let's just take this in. Check out the visuals, man. The people in the video, and it just reminds me that Toronto always had like a beautiful hip hop scene, and we always been representing, man. So big up.
There's an echo on it.
Does that make a difference?
Just the freaks of reality with a new power. What I mean is mine, you know. Come make a picture, look for somebody. Some of the crack and some of polo. We complete them with the little DJ freaking and his name is Snow. But therefore I be complicating with the Latilo. Right hand and an elbow. And when we're done with that, we hit them with the Latilo. I watch it Indian, that's what I eat. But therefore I be complicating with the Latilo. You hear this style, I know it doesn't flow. Hit all the little Latilo. Listen, we smoke this and you know do blow.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That's our Reminisce Show intro right there, man. The foundations, man. Shout out to the man them wherever they are on the planet. Enough love and respect for the contributions. Look at these beautiful faces, man. Yo, I love it. I love it, man.
Yo, Spirit Hip Hop, Toronto. Proud of you. Love you all the time. And yo, you know the funny thing? I remember I was mad straight. When this song first came out, some people made fun of it a bit. and like it was because it was just like, you know, it was one of them catchphrase songs, and the catchphrase songs, it's either works or it doesn't work for some people. So, and it's like, this is one of Toronto's first catchphrase songs. Well, and people were like, yo, what the hell? And like, it just, this was us doing our own thing. The vibe, the rhymes, the style, the flow, the production, the everything. This is just time capsule music because it really captures Toronto in 94, 95.
Yeah.
And like, yo, like it almost sounds better now than it did back then, but it's just like
it aged really, really well, man. Another one of my all-time favorite classics is Graffiti Logic with the big homie Frankie Payne. You know, yeah, man. Can I get a, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that was nonstop right there, man. Yeah.
Yo, so how you doing, man? How you doing? I gotta do a little check-in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yo, I'm feeling blessed, man. Like, you know, I was kind of tired earlier. I mean, I feel like I've been just working a lot. So I had like a daytime nap, which I don't really get to do often, and it was a nice little vibe, yo. So I woke up like not too long ago, and yo, I'm feeling cool, man. I got my lemon ginger tea right here, building with you, man. So it's super blessed. What else is there? Yeah, like on Saturday I was featured in the Toronto Star for an article that was kind of outlining some of the violence that has been happening in schools, or at least on school properties. And how it kind of seems like people are getting nervous. Like, you know, there's teachers who don't even want to go to school, and you know, like students are obviously, you know, feeling a certain way as well, you know, for safety, and really how like gun violence is a public health issue. You know, it's not just something that happens in particular communities. It's something that impacts us all, and how when these incidents happen, like there's ripple effects. You know, there's still like vicarious trauma and PTSD that goes along with it, and now when certain things happen, these spaces, like these sites where violence has taken place, now become this like continuous like trigger. So how do we like support? And basically they highlighted community organizations like Stolen from Africa, who are, you know, working with youth and in the schools, and you know, doing things to kind of like bring some type of balance, you know, support with mental health and education and mentorship and whatnot. And I was just really speaking to like the value of consistency. You know, oftentimes when organizations like ourselves are in schools, is for like short programs, or, you know, funding might be like limited, even if like we've already shown improve of the value. There's always like this game that we got to play, you know, and then all of a sudden like things get really bad, and it's like, quick, get the funds, you know. And then it's like, well, if we had that established, you know, from before, maybe that could have created something. Maybe right? We
could have, like stop some of these things before us, not all of them, but some of them before it happens.
Some of them, yeah, exactly.
Like an ounce of prevention
better than cure. Yeah,
how to cure is one of the greatest things for real. And especially when you start getting older and you realize things start breaking down and falling apart, it's better to stop it before it happens than try to clean up the mess. But yo, I want to quickly say, to kind of add to what you're saying, I'm feeling pretty good. I had a pretty busy week, but I've been just resting a little bit and just taking in some music and relaxing my body. But I have been watching a couple TV shows, and one, shout out to Batman, because Kevin Conroy died, the voice of Batman. He died last week, so that's a quick shout out. Little quick one, because for all my comic book lovers out there and comic heads. But so I was watching Hip Hop Homicides, and I've seen 2 episodes out of the 4 now, and they're fantastic. It's really top level, high integrity hip hop journalism, and 50 Cent is really going into the hip hop homicides and just getting some of the stories that are untold for the unsolved murders that still exist. Right. And he's doing it like with a sincere level of authentic integrity and respect and dignity and honor for the dead, honor for the families, even a little more honor than I would expect towards the police themselves. And the police don't even reciprocate it, to be honest. But they're exploring some hip hop murders. And I quickly wanted to say, like, one of the lessons was with gun violence, everybody loses. One person loses a life, and then the other person, if they get caught with a gun, he's locked up for life or fucked up. But at least with just a regular fight, some people it's just a knockout. One person wins, one person loses, and then both of them continue to live their lives. So, so yeah, man, really and not a single one of these real situations that does nothing sounds like it's worth shooting. Honestly, it's just over women or clothing or money or ego, and it's just none of that is worth throwing your whole life away. But I sent you the trailer for it. It's because it's not working on my end.
Got you.
Yeah. Right. So
we'll run that
for Hip Hop Homicides, 50 Cent.
As of 2022, there's been a staggering number of rappers who've been murdered, and more than half of those cases are unsolved. How many times do we have to see this in hip hop? If pop stars were being killed at this rate, there would be an uproar about it. They'd be at war. I'm your host, Van Blake, and together with executive producer 50 Cent, we're here to bring these cases into the light.
I was with him. I could see everything.
My daddy was a old in the city. You don't ever get curious? I'm gonna keep that to myself. They don't care where you're at. When I catch you, I'm gonna kill you.
The rumors that they had about this guy, that he was a killer. Boy was a hit from jail.
Everybody was just pointing fingers because nobody had the answer. You saying that he got money off her life insurance and then put it on the street?
Yes.
We would climb to the second floor to find the locked door. You seem pretty sure that somebody was paid to kill him, though.
Yeah, I do. He became a target.
We're here to find the truth. These guys are rappers. They're #1 targets.
They're dying while living their dreams.
That's what happens when you mix street with music.
Hip Hop Homicides premieres Thursday, November 3rd on WeTV. Stream every moment, Mondays at All Black.
It's Bryce Davis on the check-in. And shout out to 50 Cent, bringing us a new 8-episode series called Hip Hop Homicides, produced by Mona Scott Young on WeTV, which is on the AMC network. And it'll be premiering on November 3rd. It explores the deaths within hip-hop.
Yeah, this is whatever.
One said.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've only seen 2 of the 4 episodes, but they're fantastic. They're really good. It shows honor and dignity to the dead and the living, and it really asks the important questions without being sensationalistic or exploitation based. And it's proper. It is really, it's surprisingly proper.
I like what you said about dignity and honoring the dead, and there's so much of the opposite happening in hip hop these days, and it's so wild, and I think the more we talk about these things constructively, we can actually get down to the root of things and figure out some meaningful alternatives, because these are people's lives, and everybody is connected to other people, no one's an island, there's ripple effects of impacts and whatnot. So and hip hop is I don't know, man, this whole death culture has plagued us like a virus, you know what I mean? And I'm always who's really benefiting off of all of these, follow the bag. Who really gets the money?
The record labels, the political system, the jails.
It's wild. It's wild.
Oh man, they just running up the bills, man. Every lawyer, all the the courthouses, they're like, keep us in business, keep the bodies coming in. We can't have these cells empty. So we don't care what y'all do. And we already know Leo Cohen done admitted. The labels are like, man, we'd rather sell murder music. So yeah,
it's wild. It's wild, man.
We just gotta break the cycles. But that being said, though, I want to show this next video before it gets taken down. This is wild. This is literally what we were discussing. And apparently it's some brothers in Michigan who did a rap song from their cell, and I want to show it before it gets taken down.
All right, man. So this is what we call the hip hop CNN. You know what I'm saying? We're getting it live from the people who are on the road, man. So let's see what's going on, man.
Yeah. So.
off my shoes. Working on my heart, you can tell it has been bruised. I done gave my love and loyalty and been misused. If you want me wrong, nigga, that ain't on you.
Wow.
If you have been fighting, maybe you someone's fool. Gotta learn your lesson like it was still in school. Still sharp and feel better, still rock no tool. It's for my son, I want my little nigga game tight. Cause when he grew up, I know he gon' have the same fight. I know I ain't been around in me a whole lot. And yeah, I've been on the yard banging that whole lot. Such a low lot. Your Uncle Jimmy prayed that I get my soul right. They working on my appeal, I hope he go right. But if it ain't got plans, it's gonna be your wild. You know your daddy is dog in this shit. It ain't the time of the dog, gotta be fighting me. And I've been through what you've been through, come can't find me. But I got it time right. You see, you be signing me. I don't think this now got me touching on these blues. Feeling all this pain, really can take off my shoes. Working on my heart, you can tell it in been bruised. I done gave my love and loyalty and been misused. If you prove me watching, nigga, that same on you.
Condition.
That's pretty ill. Like, they got a lot of crazy shoes there. Yeah. So that's basically everything. Not the whole story, but yeah, you know we can't show the whole thing. But so I realized when I saw the posting of it, one of the other things they were saying is because they were complaining about some of the conditions in the cell, and I realized like you couldn't quite tell because obviously they made the best of what they can on cell phone cameras and stuff, but they had that towel under the door in the first cut, and I read that one of them was saying that these guys were reporting on some of the conditions in the cell and that the toilet had broke and that they had piss. So they showed the bottom. It was like water on the floor. It's like, yeah, this is piss in the cell.
Right there. Yeah.
And they were saying that the toilet broke and they were trying to complain about their conditions too. Not just they were like, yeah, this isn't just about rap and we're just trying to really like, you know, shed some light on our situation. So, and then, the Michigan jail guard, they were trying to take this down, and these guys are apparently I don't know if they're in solitary or whatever, but these guys are being punished right now for this video. And man, just that might go get taken off the internet any second now. So
it's interesting. Like I'm not sure what like the laws are like here in Canada in terms of like cell phone use, you know, in prison. But we do this live on our IG every Monday called You Good Fam. 11 a.m. on SFA_community, live every Monday, and every now and then we get this brother named Jay, and he's actually incarcerated. Crazy enough, like, you know, he's what we would call as like a political prisoner. He's been incarcerated for like 30 something years, I think like 35 years or something crazy, like something like insane like that, you know. Like I think like maybe 33, but somewhere definitely a little more than 30 years. And yo, one day he just jumped on our live, yo, and I'm just like, yo, this guy is actually like in prison right now and just sharing his story and you know how he's, you know, fighting for his appeal and all these different things. He's getting much closer and really like educated guy, you know, pretty cool and whatnot. And he was like kind of like, you know, showing us around his cell, like giving us a mini tour and had like another like cellmate on the other side, like, you know, like waving at us. And I'm just like, yo, like, I'm like, you guys can have your phones, like you have access to the internet, like in jail. I'm like, okay, man, this is interesting. So
yo, that's wild for real. Like, how much data do you get in there, yo? Like, what kind of like what websites do you have access to, yo? Like,
I have no clue, but I'm definitely going to check with him, you know, sometime soon. But he came on to at least like 5 of our lives, like, you know what I mean? Like he was on there like pretty regular and sharing, you know, like what's going on, the conditions and seeing things. So for me, like this is what we do. We create these platforms where we can just like speak about things that we're impacted by and finding ways to build and connect, and that's it.
Man, I'm all about, you know, voice for the voiceless, man. I'm all about that. Forever will be, man. Like, man, like poverty is well hidden is one of the craziest things I ever heard, man. I always want to give light and amplify those who are silenced. So
true indeed,
especially with incarceration, because it's such a challenging thing. It's like I'm like anti-incarceration, but also at the same time, it's like there has to be some punishments for certain actions, and it's like
right.
It's just challenging. It's like especially who's in charge of the jails. Like, no, that should not be
right.
At the same time, like certain people do kill and rape and murder, and like those people should be secluded away from society in some form or fashion. I do believe. I don't have all the answers for sure, but
true,
not at all. But
true indeed, man. True indeed.
Yeah, we gotta do something. So
that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, you got anything? You got anything?
Well, I know that next week is going to be, the annual Cardi party, man. That has been a Cardi Christmas party, man. That has been on pause for the last like 2 years, I believe, maybe 3. I'm not sure, but basically during the whole pandemic, stuff, and we back. You know what I mean? So I reached out to Big Bro and I was like, "Yo, man, we're trying to pull up." And looks like we'll just look out for that invite and make sure we bring y'all that exclusive on the site coverage. Been getting a lot of great feedback. People like to see us out and about interacting with the people them, and you know what I mean, bringing in that classic much music vibes. You know what I mean? So we're definitely going to be out there making sure, like, bringing y'all with us. You know what I mean? So for those who can't make it and whatnot, you're going to feel like you're there right with us. And that's the energy, man. So yeah.
Yeah, man, can't wait. I think it's been maybe about 6 or 7 years since I've been to a Cardi party, but they're great vibes.
I've never been, so this is my first time. I'm great. It's gonna be proper.
I've been to 2, but yeah, they're great. It's just good Canadian hip hop, and all our peoples. Everyone's looking good, and yeah, just celebrating the year and just blessing to be together again. Cardi's really good about that, man. Like, no matter what anybody says, that man has to be saluted for his community care.
Yeah, and what's dope is like he's kind of always had that community element, because like his mom is a teacher and like an educator, like within like the school boards and whatnot, and so he kind of like grew up like around that kind of like, I guess, like communal responsibility, so it's not a shock, like when I see him doing these things and little things to just give back and whatnot, like it's kind of like how he was raised and whatnot, so it's kind of cool to see him carrying on that tradition.
You're right. Like it's not a shock to me either, because he's got good energy like that. But it's just also like, just as time goes on, you come to realize like, yeah, you can't take none of it for granted, because not everybody does it. Not everybody gives back, and not everybody actually speaks up or expresses concern for the peoples around them, or in word or in action. So like, shout out Cardi every time.
Yeah. I wonder if he put any kind of like video trailer or something like that. I don't know. Let me see if I can find anything online. Let me see here. Well, I mean, hold on. Wait, this might be like the last. Let me see here. I don't know if this is Let me see what's going on. Oh no, that's just no, it's not. I was trying to see if there's like some like footage that I can find. You know what I mean? That kind of like highlights a little 1-2, but I'm not seeing anything on. It's okay. We're gonna bring y'all some stuff, man. We're gonna bring y'all some stuff.
Word up. I got a little something just on from that thought. Someone else who yeah, man, Conway was just telling rappers like, protect the bag, protect the brand, and create generational wealth. Like it was
protect the bag, protect the brand, create generational wealth. Yeah, like and I like the idea that how people are talking about generational wealth, because I think from our communities, that's something that has been conveniently left off the table. Other spaces are well aware of those types of conversations, but for us, we kind of just like live in the moment, generation to generation. But when you start thinking like 7 generations down the line, like how our indigenous brothers and sisters operate, it creates a whole different kind of energy, a whole different mindset, a lifestyle, because you're talking about providing for people, your legacy, people that you will never meet. If we're talking like 7 generations down the line, it's like, I don't even know you, I'll never meet you, but through DNA, like we're connected.
We're connected, and I still care about you, and I still know that my actions will impact your environment.
Right.
And
it's
if I'm on some if I'm on some bullshit and it just echoes down, it'll
it just reminds me of like the simple concept that I've been really seeing right now. So I have like a young guy, his name is Ty, and he's been working with me as like a co-facilitator with some of our programs. But he started off as like one of my like youth on my caseload when I was a youth worker. So I've known him since he was like 14. Now he's like in his 20s and whatnot, and he's just a brilliant young mind. And I've been bringing him around to schools and connecting. And I'm showing him because like he's coming in with like the red carpet entrance, like I've already made the links with the schools and connections. So he's getting this like smooth treatments. And I'm trying to show him like, yo, back in the day, it wasn't like this, man. Like we had to pull teeth and all this, but now I'm seeing, I'm like, no, like we kick down all those doors so you don't have to. Now you're just here. You just tap in. You know what I mean? Now you have the plug. And if you have ideas, you can leverage that and build those relationships, you know what I mean? From off of our shoulders. So just seeing that in a simple case, like it feels so good because I know he's just going to run with it. Like all those barriers and barricades that I faced, like jumping through hoops and hurdles. Now we don't have that, and he can just step into his purpose and do what he got to do. And then hopefully the next generation coming up after him will be at a whole other level. You know what I mean? Like more than him. So
that's it. And I just want to read this Conway quote because he's basically saying a similar thing. And, Conway doesn't, some of these cats of this new generation aren't always on this stuff. So I love when I really hear how their mentality goes. And he says, it says, definitely harder than it seems. It may seem easy, like you're famous, you get money. Some of these guys, a lot of these guys, they're really outside, really tapped in. You got to respect the code if you know what that life about. It's codes and they live by it and stand by it. So my advice to the young bros that's doing a thing is just when you're getting in this business, you got to know you coming from the streets. You got to know what to take with you and what to leave behind. You got to know what to bring with you and what to leave out. You're doing business now. You're becoming a brand. You're becoming bigger than the hood. So, that's real. I just love that shot. It's like, well, Jay-Z can't be the only person who's like talking about it and just being, Nas is on that now a lot. And there's been a couple elders who was like, they're not on some reckless hooligan, live today, die tomorrow shit. So,
right.
Yeah, we all need to just be preaching that and sharing that. And once hip hop is just doing that, man, if everybody's doing it, it's like word. Who knows how far it could go.
Just on another note, like something up that I saw came online was we know Rob from Drop the Needle. He made this post earlier about how Drop the Needle will be screened on Air Canada. So I believe like starting, like in January or so, that will be a film option for those who are on those long flights. And I think that's such like a clutch.
That's cool.
Like link, and that's so brilliant. Like, even when you think about, just other films and stuff like that, that's such a brilliant idea, to have that screen there, and, just the range of audience that will be able to be tapped into this history, which is great, so I thought that was a pretty cool update. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's tight.
And I submitted like the the interview request, so hopefully we'll be able to like lock him in sometime next month for December, and you know what I mean, just continue this conversation on Toronto hip hop history and us just filling in the blanks and seeing who else needs to be included, because it really is a collective effort and we're all doing our part, you know what I mean. So I big up everyone who's doing something, that's always my bottom line. I know things are never perfect. There's always going to be politics and things that are, just non-desirable or whatever. But, like as long as we all can contribute something, that would be blessed. I know that, like going back to like Too Rude, he was looking at doing something, and an idea that popped up, and I just want to put it out in the air, but it would be cool, and maybe Tarud might be the person to do this, but it would be cool to do a documentary that is centered around the radio stations and radio shows, specifically like college radio, you know, that's really kind of centered around those like ecosystems. I think like there's some stuff that could be really authentically created, and that just opens like the broader perspective, because there's so much like circle research, dropping dimes, master plan, like, you know, all of these different, you know, shows. I think that would be pretty interesting. You know, Ron Nelson, his you know, whatever shows that he had back in the day, you know, all of that.
Voyage.
There we go, Fantastic Voyage. Yeah. I think like that would be pretty interesting.
Power Move.
Yeah.
Man. Yo, like shout out CKLN.
Come on.
It's gotta be the Holy Trinity at least. CKLN, CHRYCIUT. That's decades of Toronto airtime in history. But I was such a Radiohead that I was winning so much off the radio stations that they stopped letting me win.
Oh snap!
I was
talk about it, man. What do you mean?
Every single week, I was such a hardcore head. I would call up the radio shows. I had a few little techniques on how to just how to time things, how to be slick about, when they were like, oh, caller number 10 or caller number 7, whatever.
Break that down. Because like that, this is pure Reminisce gold, right? Because like, being caller number, like, what is your technique of how you like balance that out so you can like
there is some luck involved, but there is also like this kind of triangular timing that you got to do. Like you gotta because at the time it's a science that wouldn't even apply now, because it was honestly, it had to do with renaming it, on the hook, off the hook kind of thing. So it's like it didn't even apply anymore. But like there were you kind of would time it, be like, all right, man, like a caller number 10, like I would wait like 20 seconds sometimes, and it's called like you would have to do it like that. And I don't know, it's just not the same anymore. But really would like 80-90% of the time I would get through and I would get in. And I actually had to start using some fake names after a little while. And then after a while, they're like, because this was even before caller ID, like not everywhere had caller ID. So I would be calling it from home on a regular phone. And then after a while, they're like, yo, is this Mindbender? And I'm like, after a while, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, again.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, one, nobody else is calling sometimes. I'm like, who else is listening and calling in? Who else is participating in this? And they're like, okay, yeah, you're right, true. And then after a little while, I started winning stuff and just giving it to people. And then sometimes I would just win it and I honestly hand it off to my friends. I'm like, honestly, I won't take it. I already got this CD, but I love it. I'll take the CD and give it to a homie. And man, I was notorious. A notorious winner on college radio for a while. Like I was banned from calling in for a bit.
So what are some stuff that you would like win?
Often concert tickets, a lot of promo CDs, some magazines sometimes.
Concert tickets are fire.
Concert tickets are dope. Yeah, sometimes they get promo. I got a Redman Malpractice promo thing once. Just sometimes they have like maybe they give you a sweater or something like that. Just random shit, record label shit.
I just remember CKLN, like the old station, like in the basement. You know what I mean? Like where you would go down and like, it was just like the most like hip hop experience ever. And like late night, people be like bunning their ting down there and like, it was just such like a vibe. It was a movie. I remember one time, like me and my crew, shout out to Fatal Phonetics, back in the day, we went to Circle Research, and I believe we were Lamin, Lucky Lep was battling KDB on the radio, and this was like 2:00 in the morning or whatever time their show was. I believe it was at 2 a.m. on like a Tuesday Wednesday morning, really. And I remember it's all there like late night, like pulling like a all-nighter, and then we just like went to school like after. Like we're still in high school, you know what I mean? Like, and went to school. I remember like falling asleep I'm like second period falls. I was like, yo, man, but I felt like a real artist. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, man, like, you know, we're out at the radio show and, you know what I mean, we on the radio feeling so cool, man. So yeah, good days, man. Reminisce, man. Reminisce.
Oh man, I want all those stories still because it was so many great artists, so much great energy, so much creative freedom happened at that point in time, and like it just really wasn't talked about enough. It wasn't celebrated enough. It really wasn't. Like it was some really world-class stuff happening, and this was the intersection of a really great point in time creatively in the culture. And it just deserves to be celebrated more. So
yeah.
But yeah, what else did I want to talk about?
What you got?
There was one more thing here. I mean, it doesn't really tie in.
What you got?
LL Cool J is doing a Rock the Bells cruise next fall.
Like a boat cruise?
A boat cruise on a Rock the Bell.
I'm always skeptical of boat cruises, yo. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, a year from now, next November, it's for the 50th anniversary of hip hop. There's going to be a boat cruise. So that was, he hasn't announced.
That's just like one of those like big ones, man. Like, are they like traveling around the Caribbean and whatnot? And it's just like every like OG rapper is going to be on there. Then okay, fine, I'm down.
No, I think it's Miami to the Bahamas.
Okay. That might be a thing, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking about from like art, like a Reminisce Show vibe, you know what I mean? In terms of like documentation. Okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm still not a fan of the boats like that, but anyway.
I've never been on a boat cruise, so part of me is like, interesting.
Yeah.
Possible. It's possible.
Okay.
But yeah, man, yeah, just on some reminiscing, like 50th anniversary hip hop. I like how more and more people are talking about it. Apparently, Nas just put out an action figure. There's like a Nas action figure that's coming out. It's a celebration of.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a little picture of it, but
what do you think?
I don't know how like easy it's gonna be to buy, but
I wonder. You may know this, but I feel like Wu-Tang would be very appropriate to have action figures. I think that is very appropriate. Like Nas, I love Nas, but I'm like I don't know, but like Wu-Tang is like, you know, some action figures like.
I mean, you're right. I know Ghostface has some figurines. Okay. But you're right. As far as action figures, as far as like G.I. Joe figures, I don't know if they've done that. Wait a minute. I just recently saw a Bobby Digital. I don't know if this was real or not, but it looked real. It looked like a Bobby Digital G.I. Joe figure. Like it was like I had the cardboard thing with the plastic thing with the character in it. I just saw it last week for a Bobby Digital celebration. I think it was real. Right. And yeah, man. Wow. It's just I was just thinking, I was like, I had a Wu-Tang video game, man. Like, I had Shaolin Style, so like Wu-Tang has some promo stuff like that, but it's like what do I have? What don't I have? But anyways, yeah, man, yeah. That's about it for today. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna do something that, you know what, because I want to, you know, keep it interactive with some like, you know, throwback videos, and I'm just gonna play. I'm sure I played this before, maybe a couple times, but I'm gonna play it again anyways. This video, and you know, we're gonna use this to kind of sign off. This is Citizen Kane, man, Soldier Story. You know, this is a video song. Like, they're just such a great group. I remember seeing them perform live at Reverb many years ago. I can't remember who they opened up for. I feel like it was like Rozelle or something random like that. But like I just remember their live show was incredible. Like the quality of their instrumentals, like the mastering, the sound, how it was coming through the speakers. It was like, I was like, yo, like this is hip hop. I was like, and this is from Toronto. Like, these guys are polished. This is a polished group. And just hearing, you know, Spade and talking about like how, you know, they sold whatever, but still couldn't get the support. It's like this is a group that should have been well invested in. And, you know, so we're going to make sure that their legacy is remembered and not forgotten right here on the Reminisce Show.
Yeah.
Straight up.
You wanna be like, is that the new lick you wanna breathe like? You mind to take a swing just to clear myself and feel right? My mind is at the break, cause those fakes don't even feel right. Just like Shabazz from the hill. So you know, pep and chill. Yo, I sweaty with the mill. Talking pure gold, but never had a dollar bill. Even got these kids on the corners being real. Wearing thugs, faking like they poppin' steel that we run with. All the street dreams are done with. Now the presence on my mind gives my soul oneness. Brothers ain't trying to see that. Where that ricochet be at? See that trooper be a soldier, believe that. Ship the kid away and he return just like a feedback. Gotta go for yours plus the world. So what's the meaning of the world? What we achieving in this world? Find it hard enough, just believing in the world. Not like 88, hanging out and playing ball. Breaking, running from the cops, spraying walls. Even back then, greatest players of them all. But yo, it ain't the same vibe at all. Talking about brothers stay strong and survive these days. And give a pound to my head from around the way. Hold your head up, forget that they say. To give a pound to my heads from around the way. Brothers stay strong and survive these days.
Feedback magazine, big up.
Hold your head up, forget they say. Give a pound to my heads from around the way. Yo, back in the days, we had block parties. This was shells, gazelles, and tight leaves. Motivated by the rhymes they hear. Rolling mad trees, so the monster's clear. I'm sick of niggas beefing over minor affairs. The Ray coming home and I ain't seen him in years. We used to sit back, kick back, guzzling beers. Now I look back and think.
That's the ill shot.
The good times spent like rent. And what it all meant. Walking around like Clark Kent. We thought we were invincible. Now situation's critical. Where's it out? Let me get 2 balls. Before you dead was cars. I ain't seen him yet. L Trooper, don't you know that kid flex? I said a couple things that I regret, but he'll maintain. Search the world for the fortune and fame. Ain't that the same to drive brothers insane? Well, the pressures of a man can be hard on the brain, but together we stand like soldiers. As we overstand, support like the arm to the hand. Yo, fighting for our rights like the peeps in the ran. Cause you know we got the L power plan. Check. One time. Oh yeah. Man, brother, stay strong and survive these days. I give a pound to my peeps from around the way.
Classic, man. Scarborough, yo. Scarborough.
Scarberia.
All day. Yeah. Scarberia. Every time I hear that, it makes it sound like much further than what it actually is. Yeah, man. It's like Scarberia. Yeah. Peace, no doubt, man. Yo, I see right in the chat saying it was actually at the video shoot. I think it was was it this video you're talking about, Righteous? Yeah. The Citizen Kane. Okay.
Tight.
Did he interview them after he had a feedback magazine? That's what's up. Okay, man. Well, like I said, Righteous, man, like, yo, we got to get you on here next, you know what I'm saying? And get that history, man. You're like a library, man. You just hold bare gems.
Bare gems.
He has that story, man. Keeps everybody in check. He's like, nah, that's not what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Comes through with the exclusive. It's like, oh, lie. Okay.
Word, man. So I think
that's it, man. So we out. All right, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna hit up those cats and see if we get some new cats. I want to keep it secret, but we'll let you know. In the meantime, I'm still trying to get my social medias back. I'm kind of floating around weird out there, but Mindbender's still in the cut. Everybody can find me. You know, just Mindbender Supreme at Gmail, or just hit up, MalcolmLovejoy.com. But I'm still rapping for SFA, and we just out there in the streets where we need to be. So see you at that Cardi party.
That's right, man. And we out, man. So every Tuesday, Reminisce Show, 7 p.m. Eastern time, carrying the traditions of Sankofa, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what we forgot, in order to move forward, man. So peace, big up to everyone who joined us tonight, and we're going to sign off like that, man.